All right, guys, welcome back to part two. Um, we last episode we windrowed on and we ended up windrowing instead of tethering, and I had a feeling like I was screaming to myself. I'm like, I think I'm doing it wrong, but you live and learn. Um, I hope though that this episode will have more. We'll be able to vibe a bit more. I mean, not that we weren't vibing last episode, but now that we're getting the hang of the game on this map, anyway, I hope that you know that'll make things easier. Like I know I've already said it, but I've really enjoyed this map. Like this is like a map that I'm really enjoying. Like it's one of those it's one of those where sometimes with pre-orders and stuff like that, I kind of have trouble with pre-orders. And you know ever since the Avengers game, I don't know if anybody remembers the Avengers game. I try to forget sometimes, to be honest, but you know you kind of like, at least me anyway, like I kind of have trouble with the Avengers game sometimes, just because I remember being so excited. Like I really I kind of got into Marvel kind of late. I got so I remember going to see the one of the first ones with my mom. Like I watched the Incredible Hulk in theaters. And so I kind of got into the process kind of late, cuz I we didn't know back then that they were all connected, and you didn't know the whole stay till the end thing like you do now. Now to kind of, okay, well, you stay till the end, you kind of, you don't do anything until the movie, until the lights are fully back on, you just kind of, till the screen goes black fully, now not to get up and, you know, go watch, not to leave the theater until it's completely done, and you know when to look for when it's completely done. But the first movie I watched, I was like 8 whenever The Incredible Hulk came out. So, but yeah, so I got into Marvel around the time officially of Infinity War. I didn't have cable, and we weren't really able to go to the movies all the time. So I knew the movies were really popular because everybody talked about them. I never got to watch them until so I I watched Black Panther in theaters, but and my uh I consider him like an uncle, but so I'm gonna call him an uncle. My uncle Nate kind of told me to that if I wanted to get into them, he would kind of send me the watch order, and would kind of tell me where to go with it. And so I like by the time the Avengers game came out, like 2 or 3 years after Infinity War, I was like pretty on the bandwagon. And so I was like hooked. I remember I went and got like the biggest, like the most expensive one of the packs for the pre-order. And so when I was younger, like I got like one game a year, kind of like because I would pull my money from like birthday presents and stuff. So I used my like birthday money that year and I got the Avengers game. And oh boy, do I regret it. No, I shouldn't say I regret it. Like there were some things that like weren't super bad with it. It just what I was hoping it would be versus what it was just ended up kind of not being the same. So, I mean, like my main big complaint about the game really was the loot system, like because it makes sense for like Iron Man. Okay, like Iron Man makes sense. You know, he finds a bit of tech and he like wants to like change out his lasers for like he found a good like upgrade to his like unibeam. Okay, that makes sense for Iron Man. You know, and I might even give it to like Captain America. Okay, Captain America finds some like upgrade that would work pretty well with his shield. But what upgrade is Thor going to find on the planet that is going to like upgrade his hammer? You know, that's kind of where they lost me a little bit because it's like, and it just the gear was like really overwhelming and RNG'd was like I personally just my biggest complaint with the game was is I didn't like that every 5 minutes I had to pause the game just so that I had to pause the game every like 5 minutes to change gear because the game wouldn't let me go until I got the gear. So it's like you have gear upgrades, you have gear upgrades, and it's like okay, I know, thank you. You have gear. And it's like, bro, I know. Like it just uh, and like the DLC definitely like I definitely feel like with the Avengers game like that they definitely like I definitely feel like Black Panther was supposed to be the first character, but then they like adjusted it because Chadwick died and they didn't want to be like disrespectful or seem like they were like cash grabbing on, but I don't know. So back to where I was talking about with pre-orders, like that game has always made me cautious to pre-order games or to pre-order DLC, just because you have no real way to ensure quality, you know, and even like companies that you really like occasionally will unfortunately will let you down on it, and there was just no real way to know with like this map if it was actually going to be worth the money or not. And that's kind of the other hard part with like gaming sometimes is what one person deems worth the money other people won't, you know? So okay, I think actually we're gonna windrow this again. So We're gonna look at something real quick too. Did I get the realistic? Okay. Not that I know what the difference is between the two unrealistic Bale things, but yeah, so like I was kind of concerned because like it wasn't technically pre-ordering, I know, but like I bought the deluxe edition when I bought this game, so still same kind of message, I guess, of like I'm just hoping. So like I don't even there's a developer that like try to remember who it is, but where they've like never had an issue with their game titles, but like last year they like released something and they like kind of were back to that where you're like, damn, like you've done so well for so long with like your player base, and I have it in my head, but like I'm like struggling to remember who it was. But there was like one guy who like every game he'd released before, there'd never been like overwhelming issues like this, and then his latest game is like really bad. But but yeah, so like it's kind of scary because you know you never know which game is gonna make a beloved developer kind of go downhill, unfortunately. So yeah, because like there's certain like game developers that will release a game and like it's going to be kind of a buggy mess. Like if you buy like if Elder Scrolls 6 comes out next year, that it's going to be a bit buggy for a bit because that's just kind of how Bethesda games are. But they're going to like fix it. But I don't know, it's kind of hard with like the game standards changing with these games because they're all trying to like churn out games, and that kind of makes it really hard sometimes because like I remember as a kid growing up, for example, like the Madden games, like everybody loved Madden back in the day. Like everybody was like, we got to play Madden. Like you'd go to your friend's house and there they were playing the new Madden. But then, greed kind of happens, and then you kind of watch as it kind of just goes downhill, unfortunately. We're just going to pick up some of this now, just while we're here. That way we don't let it get, like, too much. But like it's kind of hard watching like companies like that you've like that have like grown like a lot of goodwill, and you kind of watch them as they kind of start to lose some of that. Like I know, like I know EA has done a lot to really ruin their reputation, and it's rather unfortunate because they've developed a lot of games from my childhood that like I still love Need for Speed games, you know. I still love to play football on there. It's not the same anymore, you know. So it's kind of hard because they kind of don't care about their players anymore. And like Ubisoft, I think Ubisoft might have been the one that like I was thinking of that like a lot of people liked, and then they started doing some of the stuff they've done as of late. And it just kind of sucks to see because, you know, I personally never was like super big on the Assassin's Creed games. Like I don't hate them, but like they just weren't my thing. But then they I kind of played a bit of the crew, and they kind of did some stuff with that. I'm trying to remember what other like big games are like Ubisoft right now, but like I don't know, the whole like you don't own a game now is kind of has kind of done a lot lately to kind of ruin their own reputation, and it's kind of hard because like I like to game, and I know a lot of my friends do, and like and it's really hard because once you kind of start losing that goodwill, it's really hard to get it back. And like I know a lot of my friends, for example, are like refusing to buy Ubisoft games now because they don't want to be told you don't own it. Like, and it's just really, really scary now. Like, and so for me, like, when I play, my games, I'm just kind of like I enjoy playing my games, and like there's certain games that I like play almost every day. Like I still play like Fortnite once or twice. Like I'll play Fortnite like once a day, or like if there's like kind of a bad season, maybe I'll only play like once a week or twice a week. But you know, at least with Fortnite, like Fortnite kind of, I know a lot of people don't like Fortnite because, the fandom or whatever, but at least Fortnite kind of, for the most part, makes me feel like they, like, care about business, at least. Like, I've had very few problems with, like, them. Like, anytime I've had an issue, they've been very, okay, well, let's fix this. Let's, do what we have to do to make it good, so at least Epic Games is for the most part. I know one of the games that's kind of done a lot to lose people in that specific fandom has been the people who make City Skylines. I know they've kind of had a like disaster relaunch of their sequel game, City Skylines 2. Like there's just been a lot of glitches, and like not a lot of support from the developer, and I know a lot of people are upset about that, which again, I can't blame people for feeling negative, because we like I play on PS5 for City Skylines, and aside from the fact it's mainly PC and then console second on that game, I didn't really have a lot of issues with City Skylines. So it's just kind of sad to see, that we're now kind of at a point where, like, their newest game's been out for like 2 or 3 years, and they're kind of being really quiet on updates. There's like been no news about their newest release or whatever, and it's just a lot of people are like, so we're just like never gonna hear anything about it. And then like, so I don't know, like, I try not to be a negative person when it comes to games. It's just, it kind of is hard when sometimes you see like overwhelming amounts of greed, and then you'll see like a cool game or whatever, and you'll be like, that's cool, I want to like play that, and then it just ends up being a kind of low quality thing. Um, and so kind of my thing as of late that I've been doing, like, and I don't, just because the computer I use doesn't really always handle it the best, I don't think I'd make videos off of it. But for me, like, I've been like, my strategy as of late has been kind of to just play like kind of cheap Steam games, honestly. Like, I kind of got into Steam last year doing TCG Card Shop Sim, and shout out Queso for that, by the way. Well, I shouldn't say Queso, because Queso did it right after another YouTuber I liked. But shout out Wyatt's World, I guess, for that, because Wyatt's World's the one who got me into TCG Card Shop. But yeah, but my strategy has kind of been just kind of cheap Steam games anymore, because I'm like, if the game really sucks, at least I'm only out like $10. Because PlayStation's refund policy is like, you download the game at all unless the developer has, which they most of the time don't. If your game is like glitched out or like unplayable, the developer has to like tell PlayStation that it's like glitched out and unplayable for them to be like, okay, you can have your money back, which is why I refuse to pre-order Maddens anymore, because I got Madden 23, and for me, the first like 3 months of Madden 23 were unplayable. Like, I'd play it and it would bug out or it'd crash all the time. And like it was like impossible to pass, because it was like the first game that they had that like precision pass thingy majig, and it was like really bad at the beginning of it. Like, you would like I could like concede, like, okay, like, I didn't know what I was doing, so like, but like, even then it was like buggy, and like, so I tried to refund it like the first day I got it, and they were like, "Oh, you downloaded it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I downloaded it." They were like, "Yeah, you can't return it." So I didn't really plan for us to have just a gaming rant today, I guess. But main point of it is, like, I'm really glad that that those who like pre-ordered this pack have actually like, you know, made it feel like it was worth the purchase, because I didn't pre-order the game. I got it like a month after. Um, but you know, I like the first kind of like 3 or 4 months of this one were pretty rough, but after that, I really started to enjoy it. You know, once they like fixed like the lime and fertilization bug, I really have loved this game. So we're almost done with getting, you know, baling the hay, and then we're gonna wrap it, I believe. If I remember right. But yeah. Also, if you know you're just if this is your first video of mine, I appreciate you watching. You know, check out some others. I do have some live videos where I'm like not talking, but like if you just like kind of want like ASMR or like background noise, it's just kind of like me gaming. Like my fiance really loves to watch me game while she sleeps, so, or I shouldn't say while she sleeps, but like I'll put the game on and eventually she'll like fall asleep to it. So like we don't oh like so she like really enjoys being able to like watch me play whatever I'm playing. So it's been really nice to do that. And so like if you're like wanting to watch something of mine and you might not necessarily like wanna play, like, not that you wouldn't want to like, yeah, if you don't always want to like watch something, you gotta like follow along or like listen to the dialogue or whatever. You know, I have videos where I'm just kind of just playing, and like it's just like kind of a chill, silent stream, I guess, where I'm not talking, just kind of. If you want to watch stuff like that, you know, well, you'll have those type of videos available on my channel anyway. Because I like to do that sometimes, where I just kind of like want to like watch the stream and like, you know. Okay, we're gonna borrow this piece of land. I don't know what it's for, but we're just gonna. Okay. Okay, so I made the mistake of doing hay bales, so we probably will not get very much profit off of these. I wasn't really thinking, so, and then it hit me right afterwards that, you know, but we're gonna do that after. We're gonna do something that's gonna get us a little bit of money though. Because I'm hoping to be able to get one of these other fields and harvest today. So what we're gonna try to do. Oh yeah, I forgot I'm in overseas, so I'm driving on the wrong side of the road. Whoops. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna get a trailer and we're gonna chop some trees down, but we're gonna do them Okay, so we're gonna hope we get enough money off of this that we're able to hopefully buy another piece of land and so we're gonna hope that we can make some money today, because I did not realize like I said, it's been so long since I've done grass bales that I didn't really hit me until after that I was kind of messing myself up. So we're gonna, on my other worlds, wood chips have been kind of a big time money thing. So let's hope for the, rest of this video that, like, we'll probably do, like, another, like, 10-15 minutes of, like, wood chipping. Just to kind of... hopefully we'll be able to make some money to... At least my goal is to get enough money to buy one of these wheat fields behind us, because I believe that's wheat, right? Hold up. Okay. Oh, so wheat is like ready to harvest on this map. That's cool. But we gotta like hopefully make a profit out of this, so because not to be like Mr. Krabs, but we need money. Okay, we might have to go back and get a stump grinder for some of these. Or wait. Cool. But yeah, like I said, not trying to be a Mr. Krabs, but we're gonna need the money. So we're at 0% so far because we got a really big trailer, but some of these bigger ones should. Okay, so I'm thinking like one or two more big trees and we should be able to get like to 1%. Even if it's just a couple hundred, that would still help us out a ton. Okay, so we're just gonna have to go around and get that tree from the other side. Sorry, the tree process. Oh crap, I forgot that the time is. Normally I don't mind doing 5x, but while we're trying to get enough money to be able to buy another field or something, we might just want to. That's one of the big stumps I don't know if I'm going to be able to get. Oh, hey. Sometimes I have trouble with getting those type of big stumps, but... This is kind of going to be the most boring part of the video, probably, but it's going to be the most profitable, I know that, so... I thought we got rid of that stump, but we are probably gonna like plow this actually, make this be part of our current field. Sorry about the. I know the noise of the machine's kind of annoying, but yeah, we're gonna have to come back to those. I do like the telephone wires too. Like I know it's gonna kind of affect some things for creating fields, but. Okay, so it's... These big stumps are the ones we really want to, like, grind up, though. Because those are the ones that are, like, gonna get us money. We might not be able to with some of them, just because of, like, angles and stuff like that, but... Come on. Okay, we got like another like 30 seconds on this one, and we're gonna... Okay. We're gonna try and, you know, wrap this one up. Okay. Some of these trees are just kind of problematic. Okay. Well, we've managed to get ourselves stuck somehow. Okay. Well, good luck with that, bud. I was hoping to be able to hit the tree, but oh sure, bud. You just drive on in there. Alright, guys, I think I'm gonna cut the video here because I'm assuming that, nobody wants to. I'm assuming that nobody wants to watch like an hour-long video, so I'm gonna cut this one here. Starth Joker 88. I'll see you in the next video.